Hello. Good afternoon to all my dear parents. We've been waiting for this moment, and indeed, we're here today. And people meet in person, but we're able to meet through online. So let's make use of this. Good afternoon once again, and I would like to welcome all the dear parents to Rajeshwari Karuna School Tuli Parents Webinar on National Education Policy 2020. So the objective of this webinar is to this is a policy that is formulated by the government of India in order to bring changes in the education system in India, in our country. And this NP, it covers the elementary education and the higher education as well. That includes both in the rural and urban areas. When we talk about rural and urban areas, that means those schools that we find in the town, cities, and villages as well. And it includes the private as well as the government sectors, government schools. National Education Policy was first introduced in the year 1968 with the aim to propose equal educational opportunities in order to achieve national integration and greater cultural and economic development. So it was first introduced, came into being in the year 1968, and its aim is to give an equal educational opportunity to all the children in order to achieve the national integration, the overall development of the country, in the form of culture and in the form of economic development. Another new NP was framed in the year 1968, so in 1986, emphasizing on the removal of disparities and to equalize educational opportunity, especially on Indian women, social tribe, and social castes. So a new education policy was framed in the year 1986 in order to remove all the differences that we find in our Indian society in order to bring equal education opportunity to all the genders, both male and female. This NAP, which was framed in 1986, was mainly framed and mainly emphasized on Indian and social tribe and social castes. And this NP, National Education Policy, a new national education policy, is aim to introduce several changes to the existing Indian education system. For so many years, we have been following a different education system, but the Indian has formulated a new policy, a new rules and regulations, a new system of education, and they brought several in the system in India. So there are some changes that's been made in this NAP 2020. So we will try to learn what are the different kinds of different changes that's been made in the Indian education system. Education policy, the new NAP, which was made in the year 2020, this national policy aims at building a global-based education system that's rooted in Indian ethos and aligned with these principles such as flexibility, no hard separations, conceptual understanding, creativity and critical thinking, ethics and human and constitutional values, life skills, regular formative assessment for learning, a respect for diversity and respect for local context, etc., thereby transforming India into a global knowledge superpower. So those are some of the grounds that has been focused in the new curriculum and the new education system that was brought by the government in the year 2020. So there will be no hard separations like distinguish between the different streams like arts, commerce, and science we have. So everything, the curriculums, the co-curricular activities, all these that will be brought under different streams will be equal. There will be no separations. The curriculum that will be brought to all the levels will be related to conceptual understanding, bringing creativity among the individuals, and critical thinking. When we look back to our schools, like we have a kind of a system where we follow only memorization, but in this new educational teaching learning system, that is, children will be allowed, to bring creativity and also for critical thinking. There'll be a space given to them in the curriculum so that the students will understand more easier with the help of their own creativity, giving them independence to develop themselves, to think about the curriculum, okay? And they will understand more about the ethics in human and the constitutional values, life skills, curricular formative assessment for them will be made in different styles, in different system for learning. A respect for diversity, since we India is diversity, we have different cultures, we have different traditions, different food habits. So in order to give a respect or in order to appreciate one another, this is also one aim of this NEP, respect for local context, etc. So I'll be explaining more into detail in the next slide. Okay, so let's talk about the education. This school education. Under school education, it's mainly for our school, since our school is graded from 1 to 10, 1 to 9, and this new academic session will be having our class 10 also. So this is very important for the parents as well as the teachers and students of the school. So under this school education, the first point is early childhood care and education. And other way, in short, we call it as ECCE. And this is the foundation of learning, foundation. So under this, the first point is it aims to attain optimal outcomes in the domains of physical and motor development, cognitive development, social-emotional, ethical development, cultural, artistic development, and the development of communication and early language literacy and numeracy. So when we talk about children, 85% of a child's brain development occurs at the age of 6 years. Pachakando dalam la brain timak to develop grado 6 years, within 6 years they age 6 years they dagan ahijay kushina. So for healthy brain development and growth, it is important to give appropriate care and stimulation of the brain in the child's early age, which under 3 to 6 years. So nurturing them to bring a brain development and growth, okay, in a very possible way. It's very important for a child. So it is the utmost importance that every child has the access to this quality early childhood care and education. When we talk about this ECCE, that is early childhood care education, we won't find that much available in the present scenario, in our present context, but according to this NEP, like it can be achieved by the year 2030. Okay? So we have so many few years to achieve this ECCE. So it is very important for age to develop their brain, to develop their motor skills, their intellectual, okay, cognitive development, social and emotional, ethical development, cultural. So ECCE is will be doing a good job in the coming days. ECC for children ranging between the age of 3 to 6 years will be collaborated with Anganwadi. We all know about Anganwadi and we find in all in our community also. So this early childhood care and education is mostly for those children which ranges the age from 3 to 6 years. And this ECCE will work together hand in hand with the Anganwadi, with collaboration with the Anganwadi. So Anganwadi workers or teachers with qualification of 10 plus 2 will be given a 6-month certificate of of ECE. So those Anganwadi workers will also be trained. The workers or the teachers under this Anganwadi, they will be trained especially to deal with those early childhood education. So those Anganwadi workers and teachers who has a qualification of 10 plus, they will be given 6 months of program to how to teach or how to nurture those children between the age of 3 to 6 years. And those workers and teachers with lower educational qualifications, they will be given 1 year diploma program covering the early literacy and other relevant aspects of this ECE, which is important for the child. The next point, the implementation of ECE will be carried out jointly by the ministries of HRD, that is Human Resource Development, Women and Child Development, Family Welfare, and Tribal Affairs. Those implementations of this ECE will be carried out by those agencies. Funds for this program will be provided by the central and the state government, like funds for this ECCE, like giving training to the teachers and the workers of Anganwadi, and also the resources available for the students when they attend, when they go to Anganwadi, and then they learn about the languages, those alphabets, numbers. All those things will be free for them because the central government and the state government will provide all those funds for them. So the main aim of this ECCE is to bring the best changes in the child, the early child, such as their physical growth and the strengthening of their child's bones, their muscles, and ability to move and to touch his or her surroundings, the things that is around his or her, and then able to identify those things. So the aim is to bring on changes in the child at a very, very early age. It will bring intellectual developments also, like there'll be access to the numbers before they start their schooling. There'll be access to the numbers, to the alphabets, to the different pictures. They'll be able to point out that this is apple or something like that. So all those things will be shown to the will be taught to the children at this very young age. So through all those activities, their intellectual will be developed. Their cognitive development will be there. This ACCA will consist of like play-based. They will not memorize or do all those things like that we find in our schools. They are based on playing and activity-based and discovery-based. So learning about alphabets, different kinds of languages, numbers, countings, identifying colors, shapes. They'll be having indoor and outdoor games, play, puzzles, logical thinking, drawing, paintings, craft, visual art, drama, music, etc. will be access to them. So that in all those activities, their intellectual, their motor skills, their social, emotional, all these things will be developed beforehand when they start for schooling under these Anganwadi centers. It will help them develop good behaviors, personal and public cleanliness also. It will help them to teach about the teamwork, how to appreciate one another, to have self-control, and also for communication among their peer groups, or talking with others, how to talk with others. All those things will be achieved by the child at this very early age under the guidance of those Anganwadi workers and teachers. So that's all about the early childhood care and education. I'm not saying that it will happen this year or next year, but it will probably achieved by the year 2030 under the guidance of the central and state governments. Next point under this school education is the restructuring school curriculum and pedagogy and a new design. It was 10 plus 2. The structure of the schooling system was like 10 plus 2. From class 1 to 10, it is high school, and after that, it was high secondary. it is restructured under this new education policy of 2020, and then this is the new design. That it cannot call us it is called as 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So I'll explain you in detail about this. The curricular and pedagogical structure of the school education is reconfigured as 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 design, corresponding to the age ranges of 3 to 8 years, 8 to 11 years, 11 to 14 years, 14 to 18 years. So within this age limit, you will complete the high secondary. So 5, that is 3 to 8 years, 3, 8 to 11, that ranges from 8 years to 11 years. The next one also 3 years, ranges from 11 to 14. 4 years, that ranges from 14 to 18 years of age, respectively. So these are the categories, consists of foundational, that is 3 years of preschool. That is what are the thing which I've explained before about the ECCE. 3 years, the early childhood, they'll be under the Anganwadi centers for 3 years. That's their preschool, and ranging from children to the age of 8 years will undergo these 3 years of preschool, and by the age of 8 years, they will complete grade 1, 2. It's called a foundational stage. The next stage is called as preparatory, that ranges from age 8 to 11 years, and it is for 2 years, and you will sit in 3 grades. This is 3, grade 4, and 5. This preparatory stage, it will not be like okay. So under this grade 3 and 5, which is for 3 years, like I said, it will be more of a formal type of classroom, but it will be there will be an interactive sessions in the classroom. Interactive classrooms of learning will be there in this grades with education, languages, science, and mathematics under this grade 3 and 5. So those children under the age of 8 to 11 years, they'll have to complete the grade 3 to 5. The third category is called the middle stage, which is from grade 6 to 8. More concepts, more context will be in all the subjects, for them, from class 6 to 8 years. And their curriculum will be a little bit more comparing to the lower grades. The next stage also here is the high school. The high school, which ranges from grade 9 to that's 9, 10, 11, 12. So before it was 10 plus 12, now under this NAP, the new education policy of 2020, announces that this class 11 and 12 also come to high school. So grade 9, 10, 11, and 12 will be under this high school. So it will be two phase. That is, high school will be two phase. That is, first phase will be class 9 and 10, and the second phase will be for class 11 and 12. But now it will be called as high secondary. And greater attention of the life and their students' choice will be also given to them as an independent to them. So as we all know that this is higher grades, grade 9 to 12, obviously their curriculum will be more compared to the lower grades, this 9 to 12. So like clear attention of violations for the students and critical thinking, analysis, all those things will come under their syllabus, their curriculums. So that is about the restructuring of this curriculum. That is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Before it was 10, but now it has been restructured, and now we have to call it as 5 plus 3. Aptitude, all those things will be changed with the help of new design by the AP. That was the first point. Content will be written in each subject, score essentials to make. All right. So under this all-round development of the children, of the student, the curriculum content in all the subjects will be reduced in order to give space to the children for thinking, analyzing, and then giving them independent to work and then understand through different kinds of activities, play-based also. So this will bring changes, bring all-round development to the learners, to the students. At least, like they will discuss among their classmates, and then they're trying to bring the solution to the problem. They'll try to do the activities, discussing, helping one another. So such kind of space of time will be given to them instead of giving root memories, which is a traditional habit that we find in our state, especially in our state, because children are memorization. So once they memorize only for marks or for the exams, but it is not going to help them, or it will not retain in their memory for a longer period to help them in the future. To let them understand content that you're going through in all the subjects, to understand more in details with the help of kinds of activities, discussion based, and discovering by themselves, analyze themselves. This will bring changes, the way they talk with their friends, the way they talk with their teachers, and that's how it will develop their social development also. The second one is students' enrichment activities such as CBSE Science Challenge, Science Exhibition, Reading Challenge, and Heritage Quiz Exhibition will be conducted. It already started in all the CBSE schools, and I'm very much sure that so such kind of activities like which I mentioned here, challenge, science exhibition, reading challenge, and kinds of activities available for the students. And this will be applicable not only to the CBSE schools, but to all the schools regarding and the government sectors. So all the schools will be experiencing those activities. So recently, even in our school, we have already conducted this activities, science challenge, where the students come and submit. They learn more about the science through different kinds of modules, different kinds of videos and explanations, and at the end, they have been assessed with the help of a quiz. So such kind of activities will be available from time to time in different subjects for the students in order to understand more about the content, and also the activities like the Heritage India quiz. There are so many different in our country also, and we are not aware of all these things. But with the help of those quiz, the students will learn more about the in culture, their heritage, the richness of different traditions, culture, and diversities that are in our country. So those kind of activities will definitely enrich the children to understand more about our country. So such kind of activities will be made available for the students. Subjects such as physical education, arts and vocational crafts, in addition to science, humanities, and mathematics, will be seriously incorporated throughout the school curriculum with a consideration for what is interesting and safe at each age. Physical education, and in this physical education, students will learn more about the importance of keeping them fit through exercises and different workouts. Such kind of subjects will be introduced. Subjects like arts and vocational crafting, vocational skills, in addition to science and humanities and mathematics. All those things will be included in the school curriculum. And the main aim or the main objective of including such subjects in the curriculum is, to bring that this will help them to give a independent, to give them a free thinking or free chance to design their own path or their life plans in their future. Like all the students are not bright. Some students are slow learners. Some are very active. They have different aptitudes. They have different abilities. They have different character traits. So all the students, they cannot become an engineer or something like that, a scientist, but they can choose their own path with the help of those subjects that will give them a skill, so that they'll be able to standardize, or they'll be able to what to say, like to go more in deep to those skills, and that will help, especially for the life for earnings, or maybe they'll find a space in the future in this world for them to survive. So such kind of things will also introduce physical education, arts, and this vocational crafting. And so this pandemic also, we have seen a lot of changes in our community, in our society also. So many intellectuals, and so many, especially the educated youth, try to bring kinds of ideas, they goes to the society, and then decided to bring a new changes to it, and then find a living for themselves also. So those are some of the skills that is hidden within all the individuals. But the thing is, we're not able to utilize, or we're not able to teach them that they have such, or they have such important talents or skills that they have within themselves. But introducing subjects, such kind of a subject like the physical education, arts, and vocational crafting, all those things will give them a chance to perform, and also to show their interests and talents, and their skills will be exposed. The fourth point is multilingualism and the power of language. And this, the first point is the medium of instruction until at least grade 5, but preferably till grade 8 and beyond, will be the home language or mother tongue or local language, which will be followed by both the public and the private schools. In other schools, speaking mother tongue or home languages or local languages is very strict in some of the schools. But according to this NEP, NEP till the grade 5, at least till grade 5 or beyond that also, till grade 8, the medium of instruction, in the classroom, the teachers can apply those home languages or those local languages or mother tongue in order to let the student understand the content. That cannot be used throughout the class period, but maybe in some of in some of the situations where it's very difficult for the teacher also to let the student understand, or even the student finds it very difficult to understand the content. So in that kind of a situation, the teachers use those home languages or just local dialect, local languages. Why? It's because like the children, they learn the command, quickly of the home languages or the local languages because they are already used to it. So usage of such home language and local language can be, profitable for the teaching learning process in the classroom as well. If the mother tongue or this home languages cannot be used because of different tribes that we find, or different castes that we find in a classroom, we also like the teacher can use the bilingual approach also, where they can use second language, a command language. When it comes to our scenario, we can use Nagamis also. We can use Nagamis also. So those students, for example, like I belong to our tribe. So there are some students belong to different groups in the classroom. So I'm not able to speak their language. So in that kind of a situation, I can use this bilingual approach where I can use Nagamis, the second language, in order to let the student understand. The second point is somehow kind of a scary for the teachers as well as the students and the parents, because especially with the Nagas, we are very much not familiar with the Hindi, okay? And we know that again, Sanskrit is much, comparing to Hindi, again, Sanskrit is with the new again, Sanskrit will be offered at all levels of school and higher education, but an option for students. It's not necessary, it's an option for the students. Third point under this is students will participate in fun project activity on the languages of India. Such activities will give them a sense of unity, the beautiful cultural heritage and the diversity of India. So the power of language is used here. India is such a country where we have hundreds of different languages, and we are very much rich when it comes to language. So in that scenario, students will be given participations in a fun project or activities which is fun for them, and they have to work individually or maybe in group also, maybe in peer also. Like on the topic about the languages of India, since we have different kinds of languages in India, so it can be in the form of like module or a kind of nations or kinds of activities or methods that they understand more about the languages of the different languages of India. So such kind of activities will give them a sense of unity among different, diversities. You give them a sense of unity, understand the cultural heritage of India and diversities of India. So the students, through those kind of activities, the students will learn about the unity, come together as one. Okay, instead of looking down at the other, community or such things, it will give them a sense of unity or belongingness. They will understand most of the major Indian languages as well. The different languages have their different phonetics or the alphabet that has been scientifically arranged, or the scripts, or grammatical structures that we find in different languages. So the students through those activities will let them understand the commands that is found in different languages, or the different languages, but commonly arranged alphabets, or the scripts, or even the grammar. So the grammatical also, you'll find the different, the common grammatical structures in different languages, or they will also learn about the origin of languages, or they will learn about vocabularies of different languages that is found in India. Not only that, those kind of activities will also help the students to learn like which geographical area speaks. So this is how like a general knowledge for them, so that they'll be more in tune with their own country language or something like that, right? So it will give them, the knowledges more about our own country. And even kind of activities also give them a sense of the tribal language. Actually, our Eastern people we are tribal peoples, so we have every tribe has different languages. So they will, this kind of activities will also give them a sense of nature on the different languages. This multilingualism in the power of languages has been implemented in the policy of, in the national policy as well. So the students will participate in those fun project and activities to understand more about the languages of India. The fifth one is, the fifth in the last, this is curricular integration of essential subjects and skills. Every student will take a 4-year-long course starting from grade 6 to 8, that gives a survey and hands-on experience of a sampling of important vocational crafts such as carpentry, electric work, gardening, pottery making, etc., assessed by states and local communities, and as made by local skilling needs. Thus, bachelor's days can be planned for the hands-on learning of the vocational subjects. So, in order to develop the skills of the students, of every student, during the grade 6 to 8, that will give them a chance on hands-on experience about vocational crafting, vocational skills. They will develop their vocational skills, like in the art of carpentry, electric work, gardening, pottery making, and then making different kinds of things with the help of wood or bamboos, or basket weaving, or knitting for girls. Okay, weaving clothes. Such things, such things will be introduced for the students from grade 6 to 8. So for this, the school can bring some like those expertise from the local as well, from the local communities, local people, those who are expert in that. For example, for carpentry also, those people who are expert in those electricians can be, and then they will give them the education about like electric work, like fixing the wires, or changing lights, the bulbs, and all those things. Basic will be introduced to them with the help of those experts among the locals also. So that when the students, when they grow up, do you feel as if do you have already skilled up in their daily life? They can make use of all skills that they've learned or that they have developed during their high school days, and that will definitely give them a chance to make space, in the society in the near future. Some students among the students, some students, who knows, they might become a carpenter also, might be an electrician also, an electrical officer also. Maybe some of them will not become a doctor or engineer or army officer or pilot or something like that. But some of them will become a gardener also, or maybe a agriculturist, a farmer. Those who make different kinds of potteries. So those skills that is developed during these 6 to 8 years help them realize that even the students will realize that they have such skills, and such skills will be for that a backless day, which means the students will not carry any books on that day. Students will not carry any books on that day, backless day. Even the students will be very happy on that day. Even the teachers will also be happy, and as well as the parents, because the students will not bring any homework or any assignments on that day. Since it's a best day, they will not bring anything, but they have to bring things like, which is necessary for the particular skills that they are supposed to undergo. Like for example, like carpentry, they have to bring those the things like knife or machete or those things, hammers, all these things, and then for electric work also, like wires and those things, gadgets, which is very important for processing those skills. So the students will not bring any books or pen or such things, but it will be a backless day where students will bring only the necessary gadgets to learn the skills. So this is one, I think, also one of good advantage, especially for the children as well as to the parents, so that the students will be skilled in such vocational trainings. When we look into our present scenario, into our society, there are so many youths, they don't know how to, how to wave clothes, especially those, they don't know how to wave clothes, stitch clothes, or even boys also, they don't know how to use the mesh, they don't know how to, clean their knives or make all things, make things out of wool, which is a very cultural and which is very traditional. So in order to pass on the generations, or in order to pass the cultures and traditions, our rich culture and traditions from generations to generations, I think this is also a great, and this will also create a great impact in our society, or in our culture as well. So these are some important policies that are made by the government of India for smooth functioning of our education system in India. There are many more, but those are some of the important ones which especially the parents should know. So those are the 5 points. So like as I've said, childcare education, the new design of the educational curriculum is 5+3+3+4, and the basic development of the students, the multilingualism about the language, uh, emphasizing on the vocational trainings, vocational skills. So those are some of the 5 important policies that's been brought by the brought by the NAP, New Educational Policy of 2018. So that's all. So if any parents have any questions to ask, I would like to give time. If you want to ask any question. Ini kurba points context ini apa yang kau lebih guna na? We'll try to discuss. Okay. If there's none, then we'll wind up. We'll wind up this session. So at the end, the national education policy of 2020 is an attempt to address most of the grievances of the education system, which have been pending for decades, the past few years. It aims at making the education system of India holistic, a whole-round development, flexible, multidisciplinary, aligned to the needs of the university. Okay, so we are changing. We are living in a world where there's a lot of changes that's happening, starting from the technologies. So we have a lot of innovations or lots of changes, quick changes that's happening in our present scenario, in the present situation. So with the need of this 21st century, even the national education policy has been brought a new educational system in order to bring great changes in the education system in India, which will help to develop the culture and economic system in India. So those are some of the policies of the NEP 2020. Let's come together as one, even the parents and teachers. Let's come together as one and let us try to encourage and let us try to push our children together and let us try to cooperate with one another and let us try to make this world a better place for all of us with the help of our children.